This is the second of gameplay videos for Pulp City the Supreme Edition, and today we'll be looking at the actions. First, all of the model's potential actions are printed on its card. No need to flip the book for universal actions, you have it all on the back of the card. Second, the actions now work like easy-to-read equations. We have found that players are able to pick up reading actions very quickly, as well as understanding how to apply the effects that actions achieve. So let's take a look at the Wildman's card and see what he can do. The top line shows the action's name and its cost. If the action is marked with an asterisk, it means that it can be combined with other actions in the same activation. The cost is usually just the amount of action points that need to be paid, like in this case, but in rare cases, the user might be subject to some other costs, such as damage or fatigue. The second line describes how the basic of the action work. Rending slash is a CCM, which stands for close combat action, meaning it may be only used against the models in base to base. In Supreme Edition, models roll one die or more when using any action, adding the highest roll to their trait and comparing it to the total of the defender, who does exactly the same. Rending slash pits Wildman's strength against defender's defense. If Wildman total is higher by even 1 point, the defender suffers the FX, which stands for the effect. In this case, it's a straightforward 2 points of damage. If the roll was tied, Pulp City has a unique tiebreaker. You compare the origins of the model, so you compare science, nature, and mystery to decide who has won the tie. So you ask, what happens to all the other sixes you just rolled if you rolled more dice? Well, the bottom line is the answer for it. For each 6 you rolled, or if you used your trump trait, it would be 5s, and if you're a powerhouse, it would be even 4s. You get to pick one EFX, which stands for extra effects. The defender, if he rolled high numbers, deducts his successes from your total. If there are any left, you get to pick your custom combination of EFX. For instance, Wildman pays 2 action points and rolls 5 dice. We are assuming Wildman charged into the combat and is on the bigger base than the defender. The defender, poor Anansi, sports an average defense of 3 and rolls just 1 die in this situation. Wildman rolls a single 6, 3 5s, and a single 2 on his dice, while Anansi rolls a lucky 6. Anansi uses her power to change Wildman's 6 into a 1. The totals are calculated. You take only the highest die. Wildman ends up with 5 plus 5 for strength, and that gives us a total of 10. And Anansi ends up with a total of 9 due to her 6 on the roll and 3 of her defense. The Crazy Scott wins this one. FX is applied and Anansi will suffer 2 points of damage from FX. But let's see what about the EFX. Since strength is one of Wildman's trump traits, he scores 3 EFX thanks to the 3 5s. Anansi has 1 success due to her lucky 6 and she cancels one of Wildman's EFX. With a total of 2 EFX, Wildman chooses damage 1 EFX, damaging Anansi for extra 2 points of damage. This was the most straightforward combat action, dealing purely damage, but when you look at Wildman's another action called Howl, you see that it stuns the enemy on a successful roll and does a lot of different things on the EFX. So if you scored 2 EFX on it, you could choose between any combination of knockback, suppress, or power down. For instance, Wildman could kick Anansi 4 inches back, maybe away from the objective, or destroy 2 of her power-up dice to render her powerless for the rest of the round. Now that's exactly what we call the blockbuster actions. Our choice of EFX is what makes the Supreme Edition combat system so flexible and yet so simple.